Once there was a president by the name of Andrew Jackson.
During his presidency of 1829 through 1837, he made a lot of changes to our country. One of the very important changes was his Native American policy.
He knew the Native Americans were becoming a threat to the nation and that their land was valuable. He was left to make a big decision for the country.
Andrew Jackson was extremely determined to get rid of them, apparently for the sake of the nation.
The Cherokees, Chickasaws, Choctaws, Creeks, Seminoles, Happy Feet, and Fluffy Bunnies all must go. I must pass the Indian Removal Act.
Debates ran heatedly.
What do you think you should do about the Indians? I think we should take their land because we need the gold, the money, and yeah. What about you?
I'm Edward Everett, and I believe it is not fair to remove these Indians. They have come a long way, and they deserve to stay on their land. It was theirs first.
And what do Quakers think?
I'm a Quaker, and I agree. We need to expand the land, and not only that, but the Cherokees are even founding their own nation. Our government will be overthrown if we don't do anything right now.
So be it. The Indian Removal Act of 1830 will be passed. All natives will be removed.
The state of Georgia was so determined to extinguish the natives that they agreed to give up their western claims to the federal government if in return the government would relocate the Indians. In response to this, the Cherokees created their own written constitution to prevent it.
We, the people of the Cherokee Nation, in order to form a more perfect unity, refuse to move away from our land. Because we say so.
But it was ineffective.
The Cherokees had even tried adapting to American ways, with modern clothing and customs.
They even tried settling the case in court. The Supreme Court ruled in favor of them.
Order in the court.
Maria está loca.
안녕하세요. 김치 좋아합니다. But the Senate disagreed. The natives were to be removed. There were 5 main tribes that were civilized and were fighting against the government to stay in their land. They became known as the 5 civilized tribes: the Cherokees, the Seminoles, the Creeks, the Chickasaws, and the Choctaws. There were brave attempts to stand up against it, but in violent manner.
I am Sally, and I will resist against this cruelty.
Ow. I am Chief Osela, and I will gather up my people of the Seminole tribe to rise up against this cruelty. Ha!
Using guerrilla hit-and-run techniques, the Seminoles did win, and the U.S. had lost $40 million and 15,000 lives of troops, but some were still relocated.
If suddenly we tear our hearts from the homes which they are twined, our heartstrings will snap.
I am a Creek Indian, and I will fight to the death to keep our land. Boop you! Federal government! Ah!
This is our land. Okay.
But despite all of this, the worst for the natives came true. The Indian Removal Act of 1830 has been passed. All Native Americans will be relocated from their current lands.
Natives were brutally forced to sign unfair treaties.
They were to be moved to the Indian Territory around Oklahoma, Kansas, and Nebraska.
The Choctaws living in the state of Mississippi were removed. The Creeks living in Georgia were removed.
Go away!
The Chickasaws were paid to leave.
Go away.
The Cherokees were finally defeated and forced to leave.
Several
Native Americans were forced to travel west in the cruel, harsh road during a frozen winter which became known as the Trail of Tears.
Men, women, and children were forced to march over 1,000 miles during a harsh, cold winter. They lived in poor makeshift forts with very little supplies and food.
And innocent people who had done nothing wrong were judged
hated and removed purely for their own existence, all because of the greed for land. 16,000 were to be relocated, 4,000 died of
Step one, you say we need to talk. He walks, you say sit down, it's just a talk. He smiles politely back at you.
But were still later moved again in 1906. But it was here that all their customs actually modernized. They realized that Christian religion was fitted to their very own tradition.
Bienvenue à la classe de français.
Oh,
It's easy to come on.